Hi Posh fam, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another commentary of Married at First Sight Australia. And before we get into the swing of things first, some gentle reminders, guys. If you are new here, thank you for joining the Posh Fam train. And as a show of support, please don't forget to comment, like, and share this channel with your friends. Thank you so much for your support. And for my existing subbies, I do appreciate you staying on. Thank you. And as well, like and comment. Now, we dig into episode 23. Now, we kicked things off from where we left off last night, and that was with Melinda and Evelyn trying to sneak up on the boys to basically gate crash the boys' night and eavesdrop in on their conversation, which they did. Now, as you all know how stage managed this show is, for some weird reason, or should I say coincidence, which I don't really believe in, Melinda got caught in on when Harrison was sort of addressing her relationship with Leyton. Now, if you have followed the commitment ceremony up until tonight's episode, you would understand that Harrison and Bronte, as well as Leyton and Melinda, have got some silent animosity going on. There is something they are fighting over. It's not exactly clear what they are fighting over. Maybe for more TV time, I really cannot tell you. But yeah, these two are at each other's throat. And so when Harrison delved into Leyton's relationship, pretty much saying that it was a toxic situation Leyton was in, and according to Harrison, he felt Melinda is the driver of the relationship and Leyton hasn't got a voice. Now, this is exactly what Melinda had, and she didn't stay long enough to find out Leyton's response. She pretty much ran with this information and ran back to the girls and decided to confront Bronte. Now, this is where I wasn't sure Melinda was doing the right thing. Now, Harrison is his own person. Having to confront Bronte about what Harrison said is a whole other level. But again, it is stage managed, okay? How do we get drama? By bringing up things that should not be. And so when she tried to confront Bronte, Bronte was very defensive and said, I'm not going to be speaking for Harrison. Harrison had said something. You've gone to eavesdrop on that conversation. Let me be. And this time, she literally just walked off. I kind of felt, yeah, walk off, girl. You don't need to be in that mess. Melinda, you were stretching it with this one a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, Harrison speaks for himself. Yes, we know that Harrison is sort of the puppet master controlling the puppet here, which is Bronte. But in that instance, it was all Harrison's, doing. He is taking this whole thing literally and trying to attack your relationship. Maybe throw a more, put a stick or a dagger in a situation where he knows he's failing in his relationship, because that's exactly what happens when people don't mind their business. It only tells you that there's something going on in their life that they are trying to run away from. Exactly. And it pretty much kicked off from here, because as soon as Bronte walked off, Linda decided to follow suit, and before you know it, Harrison, came to the room where Bronte was crying, and Harrison's stand was she should not have been there in the first place. Why is she eavesdropping? She's going to go back, or rather he's going to go back and let Leyton know what exactly has happened, which he did. Now, when Harrison has got information, Chinese whisper sets in, and he spins the web. And so he really spun this web. He went to Leyton and delivered the most infuriating situation. This got Leyton fired up, rightly so. Your wife should not have been listening or eavesdropping on conversations, and he's upset by that she did that, and he wasn't going to let it go, and he was going to definitely confront Melinda. And so this is where boys and girls night out ended. So they all came back together, or got back together, and had to hash out the fact that Melinda eavesdropped on the conversation. It didn't really go down well, because Harrison on one hand was trying to be on the attack. Leyton on the other hand wasn't having Melinda's back on this. He got really upset, tempers flared up. People were seen trying to calm situations down to no avail. And I guess they all went to bed a little bit salty. Okay? Melinda was upset that Leyton didn't give her the benefit of doubt. Melinda, you should be apologizing for eavesdropping in the first place. And Leyton is like, you shouldn't do that. You're trying to prove Harrison right by doing this. And I'm not going to take this from you. And so the next morning, we see Melinda crying and Leyton going over to Harrison. They're now like best friends. I'm like, what is going on? And Leyton is more conscious of Bronte's actions or Bronte's response following the eavesdropping situation. And he wanted to be sure that Bronte was okay, and he didn't feel that it was right that Bronte was attacked for what was said at the boys' night out. And Melinda is like, Leyton isn't having my back, he's working over, and he didn't give me all this cuddles. But that is not the only drama. But before we get to the second drama, let's just check in with the couples that are actually getting it right. Tani and Ollie. These two are just happy days over here. You can see them trying to look after chickens. That's how happy they are. They are so happy that, these two, I need them to spread whatever energy they have going on at the moment to the other couples. Like, sprinkle this energy because it's crazy. And I think I can actually say the only couple that's actually getting along that is like 100% fine is Ollie and Tani. Because Linda and Cameron, those two, they are faking it. And I'm going to tell you why. I did say why last night, but I'm going to expatiate on what I uncovered in tonight's episode. So I am putting a question mark, between these two. Bronte and Harrison, these two are faking it. And so I'm just going to say there's nothing happening there. But they are pretending for camera. Now, Leyton and Melinda, these two can't seem to get it right. They can't seem to shake Harrison off their coattail. Harrison is pretty much in their head and they're not kicking him off. And so it's leaving a question mark in their relationship at the moment. As for Taylor and Hugo, I think I actually should stop commenting about this two or running any type of commentary about this because there's nothing going on here. These two, I don't know. Whatever production is doing with them, it's obviously not working and they need to get these two out of the show. Like ASAP. Evelyn and Rupert, they are... The reason for being on this show is definitely not to do with relationship, but to mind other people's business. And they are excelling in that department. They are literally excelling in that department. I can't tell you anything further about their relationship, but I can tell you for a fact that they have got it figured out when it comes to minding other people's business. Yeah, Claire and Jesse, they're going pretty good at the present. I am not holding my breath for them. But I can say that at the couples retreat, they seem to have figured it out. So we'll let them be. The other couple that has just surprised me is Duncan and Alyssa. It is not looking good at all. So the question mark has just destroyed my scale, my meter scale. It's destroyed it because I really do not know exactly what is going on. Alyssa, for some reason, is unraveling. I feel like she needs an intervention. I feel she needs to speak with someone because she has self-sabotage to the point where I don't see a way back from. Okay? She wanted attention. Duncan is pretty much trying to give attention. And now she's like, I shouldn't have to tell you that I want attention for you to give me attention. Girl, catch me with this and leave it outside. You want attention. You've spoken what you want. Now your guy's sort of reciprocating and responding, and now it's a problem for you. What is producers doing with this girl? And can somebody help me understand? You know what? Never mind. Let's just keep out what they're doing. We see her having a chat with Linda, pretty much explaining to Linda that Duncan came to her, expressing his affection. and feelings. And her response was, I'm not having none of that because I actually complained first that you're not showing any of that. And now you're showing me I'm not going to receive it. I'm confused. She is very much high maintenance. She's got an expensive emotional need, guys. I'm sorry, Duncan. You probably might not be able to afford these emotional needs. Yeah, it is serious. She is cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. And there you have it. Like, I'm going to just let the experts handle this one because it is not making any sense whatsoever. Now, we switch back to Bronte, who is still complaining and arguing and fighting within herself that she definitely needs to address the Melinda situation. Now, because we see Harrison trying, because Harrison is the knight in shining armor. He comes when you're distressed. That is where he shines. He shines best when he's feeling relevant in terms of making you feel better in your distressed state. Now, this distress is a situation where he has caused. And so the manipulative guy just keeps on spinning his webs. And so he went on to Bronte, tried to reassure her, oh, you're right, your feelings are validated. Don't worry. Do you know what Leyton said? Leyton said, which Leyton did not say, that, yeah, the relationship he has with Melinda is no good. And guess what? Bronte's like, yes, I'm going to use this against Melinda. She feels she knows it all. She feels she's all that. She feels she's better than me. I am going to make sure she feels this. And so she ran to Melinda. I want to have a chat. And now they are chatting. She's like, on an elevated tone, speaking on top of Melinda. And then said, well, you might want to check up on Leyton because he's saying all of this. To which Melinda called BS on. And she said, no. Leyton told Harrison. Oh, we all know Leyton didn't tell Harrison this. And so Melinda was like, okay, now you've, beaten the lion's tail and I am going to bite. She went to Leyton, had the conversation. Of course, we all know. And Leyton clearly stated, I didn't say that. And Melinda is, however, saying, I think it's time you need to speak up. You need to defend me. You need to protect our relationship. But that didn't go well at the side because these two, they don't know how to communicate. They are both arguing. They both want to be heard at the same time. And so it's just like headbutting. But apparently Leyton, sort of saw reasons and decided, okay, it's time to actually confront Harrison. And it turns out that the last night of at the couple's retreat, or the last night of the retreat, it was going to definitely things were going to definitely kick off. Taylor, however, is busy searching for Cameron all over the place. She's pretty much in on Cameron. She wants Cameron 100%, and she is doing everything to get Cameron's attention. Hugo has been whinging the entire time whilst he was in couple retreat. He hasn't gotten any form of attention from Taylor. Now, he decided he was going to do it in a group setting because obviously it wasn't working privately for them. And the final night of the retreat was where things kicked off. First, Hugo decided he was going to call out Taylor. It was more on the fact that Taylor, made all that comments regarding her ex and how they were pounding for days or endlessly. And he felt it was disrespectful for her to say that to his hearing. And Taylor sort of had just developed amnesia and did not recollect that she said what she said. And pretty much tried to make him look stupid. There was not reaching out. Like, you can really, nothing sinks into that girl. And for me, I don't understand why Hugo is trying. Because it's clear as day that two of you are just no good together. Just give it up. And then we see Taylor walking off and Cameron chasing after her and saying, come give me a hug. I'm like, Cameron, it's the same you that refused to hug your wife when she was distressed. Make it make sense. You refused to offer a hug to your wife that was distressed. And here you are, handing it out freely to another participant in the contestant. I am sure your mom must be very proud. I cannot make this up. Yes, it is not exactly good acting from these guys on this show. But I just cannot make this up even if I try. Okay? And then we then saw Harrison and Bronte, as well as Melinda and Leyton, gearing up for a showdown. This time, Leyton put his feet up and foot down and said what he had to say and defended his wife, Melinda, and defended their relationship and pretty much wanted to know where Harrison had what he fed to Bronte. And Bronte tried to say, but Harrison, you told me. And Harrison is like, there's been a miscommunication because I can't remember telling you. Oops. And no sooner has Harrison said that, Bronte was like, yes, you're right. I actually misspoke. It felt like she's scared of Harrison. Because we all know Harrison lied. We all know Harrison told her exactly what she relayed back to Melinda. And here she is taking all the blame. And Melinda was trying like, girl, you're being manipulated. This is not you. Speak up. Be bold. Stand up for yourself. And to which she was like, no, I am 100% secure. And you're the only one thinking this way. And then she wanted to get a census from the group. And the group said, well, we can actually see you are being manipulated. And I think she actually walked off realizing that these guys are definitely onto our game here. We can no longer get away with our pretense anymore. And things are getting to a head. Harrison, the sneaky idiot, is, not going to defend me. And so I have to stick up for myself and defend myself. And this is where it ends. Couple retreat over. It was meant to relax them, but I don't think it did any relaxation. There wasn't any sort of relaxation. There was no zen from this couple's retreat. So they are all going back stressed, with stress levels through the roof. And so, well, I guess this is good because it means the dinner party is going to be drama-filled. And I cannot wait to unpack the dinner party for you. So guys, stay safe and be focused. And I'm going to see you very soon with my recap. Until then, guys, see you.